Alrighty, good morning everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is August 13th, 2025. This is episode 940 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host over the next hour, Dr. Gerald Auger. And over that hour, me, you, Alicia Parkinson, Space Talk Ghost, Code Brew in the upstate, Kerry Franklin, Rick Kelly somewhere here in the Midlands, my man Steve Young, Mara Levy, and all of Rivers Cuomo's catalog. We are all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. If you are looking to understand threat intelligence in the way of what is going on in our current world and how that impacts your cybersecurity posture at an organization or your ability to deliver cybersecurity risk reduction to business stakeholders, i.e. getting a job, interviewing, crushing that interview, and absolutely dropping the people's elbow on all of the risks that are at your organization that you're going to start working at. Boom! You've got yourself sorted out right here. This is the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Our entire goal of this show is to go through that. I'm going to apply my 20 years of experience and knowledge directly into each of these stories to go beyond the headlines and give you insights and value that basically you're not going to get in a classroom or in a textbook, and it's basically rooted in the experience that I have. I also want to give a shout out and love to the chat right above me here. We got Obika, Robert, Medine G, Mando Avilia, Phil Stafford, Screaming. Good morning, Phil Stafford. Good to see you as always. So, hey, you know what? If there's things I don't know, believe me, there's plenty of it. We got hashtag Team SC all up in chat right now. A lot of experience, a lot of perspective, a lot of backgrounds that can contribute towards the discussion and the conversation and deliver value. You know what I mean? Listen, I got to tell you 100% right now, because there was a big talk about imposter syndrome yesterday on the community workshop with Kathy Chambers, James Quigg, and go check that out if you haven't seen it. Listen, 20 years, I'm super passionate about cybersecurity. I friggin' love cybersecurity. There's a million things in cybersecurity I don't know. So if you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, like, I feel imposter syndrome. I've been working in industry 3 years and I just don't know enough. Guy, it doesn't go away. So just embrace it. Get ready, get a network, get a community like Simply Cyber, and basically have a community and network to help you fill in those gaps. Takes a village, people, and that's what we're doing here. Now, for these 8 stories that we're about to shred the face off of, I haven't done any research or prep. I'll give you one hint why.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Hell yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. Come on, man, I barely had time to get my coffee going. Kids are back in school. We got car line for days. What are we doing up in this piece? Plus, let's be real. Everyone's going to go through the threat info in the morning one time and one time only. I'm a practitioner as well, so for real, I'm not going to go through these twice and then be like, oh, I had this unique thought about this particular story, like some type of big poser. F that noise. Listen, we got it cooking today. It is Wednesday, which means only one thing. Me, you, and the greater community is going to be going around the world. Before we dig in, around the world, it is a once a week worldwide Wednesday event where we show you how sick this community is in the essence of being diverse, international, equitable, and just overall amazing. We'll do that in just a hot minute. Believe that. Now, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one, episode 940, as you can see the ticker going by, is worth half a CPE. So don't be shy. Say what's up in chat like Carrie and Hooey Booey, Augusta Delgado, Chat Hall. Don't be shy, Devin Grady, TJ Williams. Great to see you, TJ, at DEF CON. High five, Crispies, right? Listen, say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot, file it away once a year, half a CPE. Boom! Tough actin', 10 actin'. You picking up what I'm putting down? All right? Get those CPEs. It's as simple as saying hello in chat, grabbing that screenshot. If you're here, as boring as it's about to sound, and as like jazzed up as I appear, this is an instructor-led webinar. On paper, I am absolutely defendable as a expert. I hate to say that. because it sounds so arrogant, but like on paper, you could say, oh, this is an expert-led, instructor-led webinar around cyber threat intelligence. All day long, you can make that argument. So the good news is webinars and CPE generating events don't have to suck. They don't have to be lame. We don't have to sit here and be like, please, as you can see on slide 3, bullet 4, we have an increase in identity and access governance technology. No. We can have fun and we can do work. It's as simple as that. So holler at you. We got things cooking. Let me do this really quickly. I am going to do the ad roll real quick. It's all the 4 videos rummed together. This is the video that Daniel Lowry played on Monday. I got one more day of value of it because Flare Academy is doing their Kevin Johnson training later today that you can scoop up on. I'm going to run that ad. I'll be chatting with everybody in chat, though. So let's cook here. What's up, Simply Cyber community? Thanks so much for tuning into the show. Let me tell you really quick about Flare Academy training. Now, Flare Academy is an amazing opportunity to get access to industry professionals for 2-hour seminars, and I want to call your attention specifically to August 13th. So this Wednesday, Kevin Johnson, CEO over at Secure Ideas, is going to be talking about the Burglar's Guide to Web Application Testing, Stealing Secrets Like a Hobbit. Now, Kevin is an amazing public speaker, and this is an absolutely free opportunity to see him and learn a practical skill. And one of the best parts is, after you do this, you can go over to the Flare Discord and actually ask Kevin questions about his talk. What a phenomenal opportunity. Go to simplycyber.io/Flare to get sent to this registration page. And you can see here, you'll be going through a journey of his methodical process of web app pen testing, giving you practical skills to uncover vulnerabilities. So if you're looking to get practical skills that are in demand for market, absolutely check this out. simplycyber.io/Flare. Also want to tell you about Antisyphon training. They are disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by offering high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. And coming up in just a few days here, John Strand, August 18th through the 21st, 16 hours, 4 days, 4 hours a day, 16 CPEs, and you can take it for $0. Getting started in InfoSec with Black Hills and MITRE ATT&CK. John will give you practical skills and help you understand not just how to get into cybersecurity, but also how to use MITRE ATT&CK, which is an incredibly powerful framework for understanding threat actor behaviors and techniques, as well as background on threat actors. An amazing opportunity, all for $0. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out the upcoming calendar of events, and you will see it on August 18th. You can register for $0 and take this amazing training. Don't miss this opportunity. Also want to say shout out and love to Barricade Cyber Solutions and their Fortify 365 solution. Now, you may have Microsoft 365 and feel pretty good about it, but if you haven't taken the steps to harden that environment using all of the controls that are available to you just by being an M365 client, you are taking on risk for no reason. Get with Barricade Cyber Solutions at barricadegyber.com/fortify-365 today, and you can have Eric Taylor and his team come in and configure your environment to be hardened. We're talking conditional access, all of the settings. There's no reason to take on additional risk when there's absolutely no additional impact to your operational functions of your business. Again, barricadegyber.com/fortify-365. Let's get a quick word from ThreatLocker, and then it's right back into the news. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Hero support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. All right, wow, all right, keep cooking. I do want to say really quick, I put it in chat, but if today is your first episode, first of all, welcome to the party, pal. You're straight cooking with gas right now. Where's my little sounder? There it is. Listen, do I a favor, drop a hashtag first timer. It's Levincia is already welcoming you to the party, but Listen, don't be shy. It takes a village. I'm telling you right now. If you are a lurker, that's totally fine. I understand it. Maybe you're feeling nervous or anxious or imposter syndrome or whatever. Maybe you're on the treadmill or you're pumping iron like Derek Welski, right? Whatever it is, if you can, just grab your phone for a hot second, say hashtag first timer if you're a first timer in chat. Believe me, taking those steps, taking that initiative, it's going to pay dividends. Promise you. Creeping in the dark, you will get value from the show, but you're missing out on a massive opportunity of network, community, and I suppose fellowship, if you want to go that way. I did recently restart Wheel of Time. I'm in Eye of the World. I've read that series so many times now. I'm doing the Audible book, Little Tidbits Tuesday. Remember, guys, it is Wednesday, so we're going around the world in just a hot second. So first timers, say what's cracking. Really quickly, I understand if you're new here and you're like, we're 10 minutes in, where's the news? Listen, on Wednesdays, we party hard before we work hard, okay? Space Taco's got our lurker mode activated. We're going to do this right now, so do me a favor. Don't be shy. Oh, what doth my ears hear? Is it the daft... Jay Will, first timer, welcome to the party, pal. Wayne Wiseman, welcome to the party, pal. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to the party, pal. Let's go. Squad members, if you can, holler at King Kemis, who's over on Discord. King Kemis, welcome to the party, pal. Wayne Wiseman, welcome to the party, pal. Jay Will, welcome to the party, pal. We are first time and hard, coming hot off the heels of DEF CON Black Hat. Let me do this really quickly. Yeah, dude, so awesome. Welcome to the party, pal. All right, guys. So for our first timers, allow me to introduce you to Worldwide Wednesday. Every single day of the week has a special segment, and Wednesday, we take a minute or 2 minutes. We play Daft Punk. You tell me where you are. I furiously mark it on this map, and at the end of the 2 minutes, we see if we get all the continents covered. So the timer's set for 2 minutes. Let's go. Where you at? Texas, Carrie's in Texas. United States Online. Mara Levy's in Philly. What's going on? Daniel Weber, also in Texas. Tampa, Florida. Terry Khalil. Good to see you, Terry. Hashtag GRC Mafia. Greenville, South Carolina with Code Brew in the upstate. Denver, Tech Grunts in Colorado. Raleigh, North Carolina. Roberto Zavala. Toronto, Huey Booey representing the Maple Leaf. There we go. Flow Rida, Niagara, Dublin Iron, Face Oil coming in hot, hot, hot. Enjoy that Guinness. Kofi Mainu in Ghana. Hello. What's up, West Coast Africa? Metro Atlanta, the ATL. The Dungeon. I love it. Orlando, Florida. Toronto coming at you. Jerry Con. I don't know where that is. Chocolata of Trachea. All right, Ethiopia. We got East Coast, West Coast Africa. We got some beef coming down. Little African Tupac Biggie beef. I'm joking, but Joseph Finlay in Ohio, Mississippi, Cole07, Mental Edge up in Pennsylvania, New York area. Come on, guys. Where's South America? Where's Europe? Where's Asia? Where you at? Where you at? Flow Rider, Jay Will. We got a very American-centric show today. Tim McDonald up in Chi-Town. Andres Molina, Blue Badge, and bringing in South America. Let's go. Bangladesh Ramen bringing on Asia. Jesus, you call for it and it comes down. The Thunder, love it, love it, love it. Australia, are you joking me? Richard Duff coming in strong. We just went from 1 continent to 5 continents like a bunch of bosses. Hell yeah, Kenya's in the hizzy. Where you at, Kenya? I feel like Kenya is bottom right somewhere. There it is, right under Ethiopia. Quebec, Nigeria, Ethiopia. Nigeria's coming in strong. East Coast, West Coast. Look at this battle for Africa, guys. All right, we got Beantown. What's up, Boston? My cousin from Boston. Tanzania's in the hizzy. Dude, look at this. I'm going to say it right now. East Coast beef in Africa, straight crushing it. Oh, yeah, dude. Sam Soyola. Players ball. Come on, man. ATLians. That's some good stuff. All right, let's take inventory, shall we? Kevin's out in Vegas. All right, we got North America, South America. Thank you, Andres Molina. Europe coming in very lightly, but Faced Oil representing all of Europe. Nice job, Faced Oil. Africa coming correct. It was back and forth. East Coast, West Coast. The beef was coming down strong. But ultimately, East Coast Africa won. Strong representation. Rahman bringing on Asia. Bangladesh in the house. And my man, Richard Duff, the Australian lone survivor. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm talking about when I say Worldwide Wednesday. This is live in chat right now. And we are international representation. Straight crushing it. Thank you so very much. Also in the low country, Eric Myers. Good to see you, Eric Myers. All right, everybody, do me a favor. Sit back, relax, and let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. I'll see you guys at the mid-roll. Let's cook.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for August 13th, 2025. I'm Hadas Kasorla. The hits just keep on coming. Only a couple of weeks after a critical Fortinet vulnerability was added to CISA's vulnerabilities catalog, an unrelated brute force attack on Fortinet's FortiOS was spotted by Internet Threat Tracker Grey Noise. Starting on August 3rd, 2025, more than 780 malicious systems around the world began hammering at Fortinet's SSL VPNs, specifically targeting the Fortinet FortiOS profile. 2 days later, the attackers shifted focus to FortiManager, using a different method. Grey Noise notes that these kinds of concentrated attack spikes often appear shortly before new vulnerabilities are disclosed, suggesting this could be the prelude to another round of bad news for Fortinet users.
All right. Okay, so a couple things. One, Fortinet runs its own kind of like flavor of OS, FortiOS. This is essentially like a network appliance company. They do a lot of security technologies. You can see here the VPNs. Okay, thank you. The VPNs are what is in focus here. Obviously, VPNs are internet facing by default, right? That's kind of how they operate. So with Grey Noise, which, by the way, if Grey Noise, I always get Grey Noise and Pulse Dive confused. I don't know if anyone else does, but let me see really quickly. Yeah, this is one of these threat intelligence companies. I have played with this one. It is pretty cool. If you have experience with Grey Noise, drop it in chat. Let us know what your experience is. I have messed with it before, and I remember it being pretty good. Hey, AA Witherspoon, good to see you. Definitely interesting from a threat intelligence perspective. If you're working in Blue, this is a good one. Really quick, just since I mentioned them, Pulse Dive is another one that I get confused between Grey Noise and Pulse Dive, but Pulse Dive is another good one that I have worked with and really, really enjoyed. So definitely, worth checking out both of those. All right. So Grey Noise is observing an uptick in activity of brute force attacks. Brute force is basically just hammering on something with, either credentials, right? Like brute force credential stuffing. You could also see brute force where you have just peppering certain IP addresses with, certain malformed packets, right? So you can't discern exactly what the vulnerability is that the threat actors are attempting to exploit. But in this case, because it's not known yet, but you can see that there is obviously some type of activity. So essentially what this would indicate is that there is a collection of threat actors that have discovered a vulnerability, a 0-day, if you will. They have developed a poorly working exploit, and they are attempting to utilize it to see if they can break through and get onto these VPNs. And then ultimately, once you get on the VPN, you have a foothold into the network. You also, because it's the concentrator for all the remote workforce to come into the business, in a lot of instances, they can use Citrix and other things, so don't come at me with that noise. But you can then watch traffic come and go. You could do denial of service attacks, other things like that. You could also even pair it with like social engineering attacks. So like if you're in the VPN, you could cancel, terminate someone's connection. They log in, terminate the connection, log in, terminate the connection, then contact them and say you're from IT and see that their connections are being terminated and that they need to install a patched to get that fixed, and then it's malware, right? Let's see. They have this 2 distinct assault waves. One is a brute force tied to a single TCP signature that remained relatively steady. Let's see. Oh, actually, they have a screenshot here showing the attack coming in. Okay, so what can you do with this information, right? First of all, if you are running Fortinet, you should, I shouldn't say, you can't really patch it because it's not, as of right now, it may not be known what the actual thing is, but you may want to increase your level of logging and, I guess, not threat hunting. You would want to do some threat hunting, but you want to increase your logging and kind of increase visibility, if you will, or activities of looking at visibility around your Fortinet SSL VPN, just until this gets sorted out, right? If there is a thing. Obviously, you want to keep up to date on patches. You want to make sure that you're tracking not just behavior, but also like our new admin accounts being created on those devices, etc. The one thing, at least in my experience, and if we've got some network engineers in chat, holler at me, but one of the things that I have noticed in my career is a lot of network appliances will have like local credentials on them, and the networking team they'll know what the credentials are, and they'll be fine credentials, but they're not hooked into an identity and access governance solution or an identity and access management solution. It's just like local creds. So, if someone were to get on and create a new account or something like that, there's no telemetry that's feeding back somewhere saying, oh, hey, a new account was created on this network appliance or this switch or something like that. It's usually a bit less visible, if you will, a little bit more foggy when it comes to those network appliances. So, at least in my experience. All right. So anyways, this is valuable information, but also, kind of a marketing opportunity for Grey Noise, because obviously their threat intelligence feed is going to highlight this and bring insights to you around that. So TLDR, if you're a threat intelligence analyst or a blue teamer, I'd recommend go check out exactly what IOC's this particular surge in brute force attacks looks like. Go do some threat hunting in your environment, see if you got any of this activity, and keep your ear to the ground, basically, around updates for these Fortinet devices, because it's going to be coming.
Where's the little Dutch boy when you need him?
Okay.
The Netherlands, wishing they could plug their data breach as easily as the boy in the fable, is dealing with a serious Citrix NetScaler security incident. Dutch authorities report that multiple critical infrastructure organizations have been compromised through a memory overflow vulnerability. According to their National Cybersecurity Center, attackers exploited the flaw as early as May 2025, gained access, and then wiped logs to hide their tracks. I felt the ransomware.
All right, hopefully the audio is a little bit better. I've got the volume cranked beyond what it normally should be. So, all right. So the Dutch, and hey, in full ignorant disclosure, I realized this week after talking to James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, I really get confused between like the Dutch, the Danes, Denmark, Luxembourg. Is Danes? Where are the Danes? Like all those kind of, I get really confused about all those, and I'm sorry in advance. But it is what it is. Okay, it says it's still low. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can get something for you guys. Computer, louder, please. All right, I'll keep working on it. Okay. All right. Critical infrastructures in Dutch authorities in the Dutch area said that critical. So this seems like a nation state backed threat. The Netherlands have been doing so. I don't know, man. If I had to guess, this is China. Okay. Netherlands have been high-fiving and being mad friendly with the United States. And okay, so hold on. So it other people do have the same challenge, right? All right. The United States and the Netherlands have been kind of putting a chokehold around semiconductor technology. For China, China's obviously getting around that in some ways, but there's still this like clear delineation and further dividing going on between like Team NATO and Team BRICS. And, you know, the Netherlands are clearly on Team NATO. So a memory overflow vuln in NetScaler and NetScaler Gateway was exploited. Not to say that those are not trivial, but they're certainly not easy. Vulnerability overflows. It says memory overflow. You know, I'm assuming this is either like a buffer overflow or a heap overflow. Buffer overflows are classic software exploitation capabilities. Like a lot of times when we think of sophisticated attacks, a lot of people will go back to the roots of buffer overflow. This is essentially getting really into computer architecture and the way that instructions are executed on the on the actual processor and the flow of code, you know, in memory and basically writing into registers and stuff like that. So if you can control the flow by overriding memory and then have the stack pointer or the instruction pointer execute code that you control or you have written, if you've written shell code, you can take over the device. So it's very advanced. It's very, you know, it's not simple, okay? You got to understand assembly, for example, get in there with writing, not machine code, but like hex, basically. So anyways, it is what it is. You can see here, sophisticated methods for sure. Now, they did conceal their attack. This is another clear sign, by the way, like, so this is like, you know, whatever, the more you know kind of insight. Threat actors that punch holes in the sides of things and then make big announcements on dark web and social media that they are awesome and they kick butt and they are, you know, the new cool kids on the street. Those are not sophisticated advanced threat actors. They may be very good and do advanced things, but nation states, they don't want you to know. Like, think of CIA, secret squirrel stuff. Think of, you know, three-letter agencies that prefer you never heard of them. That's what nation state is. And you could see further supporting evidence that of what I'm saying about it, you know, basically being a nation state like China. They tried to conceal the compromise altogether by erasing their the details of the attack. Classic. Now, what did they actually do here? It's unknown. If I had to guess, the reason I said China is because there has been a lot of documented instances of China attacking U.S. and U.S. ally country critical infrastructure to establish essentially persistence. Go look at Volt Typhoon, Volt, V-O-L-T, Volt Typhoon. China setting up all sorts of forward operating digital bases, basically in energy sector, U.S. critical infrastructure. They also did it in, there's another country that they recently hit. I want to say it was UK Telecom. I think the United Kingdom's telecom was smashed into. And this is right there as well. So more of the same. Unfortunately, this is, if you work in critical infrastructure, I know you've got your hands full already. The problem, here's two things I'm going to tell you. And this is legit, like real world stuff, okay? Number one, if a threat actor wants to get into your environment, they will get in, okay? With enough time, enough focus, enough skill, and enough money or resources, they will get in. You cannot, like, you'll always have residual risk. GRC Mafia, where you at? You'll always have residual risk. So you can button up all the things. You can do all the right things. You can be all the secure things. With enough focus, a threat actor will get in, which means when you have a nation state threat actor and they are essentially a military capability, right? And you get to work and you're a digital soldier or a cyber soldier for a country, and you get to work, and your mission orders are to penetrate this country's critical infrastructure. Do you know what you do? You attempt to penetrate this country's critical infrastructure until further notice. This is not like financially motivated cybercrime where you just, basically swing a pillowcase full of pool balls around and whatever you hit, you try to cash in on. This is focused. This is targeted. And that's why it's different. Now, so having said, on top of that, critical infrastructure, you're typically, using older technology. If you're like in, some areas, critical infrastructure is quite large, frankly, like financial services is considered critical infrastructure. Telecommunications is critical infrastructure. So it's not all energy sector in 1970s, Rockwell, turbo flow, incombobulators or whatever. If you've seen that joke, the OTICS, people know what I'm talking about. So, it sucks, man. You got your hands full. The problem is that in our current international accords, this is a really bigger problem, okay? In our international accords, in the definition of norms and what is considered normal and aggressive and an act of war, this right here does not constitute that. So, you know what I mean? Like basically, there's an asymmetrical warfare element here where countries can punch holes in other countries and it's not considered war. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know, man. Even kinetic war isn't actually defined as war either anymore, I suppose. I mean, if you look at what's going on in the world, there's a lot of munitions being dropped on countries from other countries, and I don't know, it's like we're towing right up to the line. Let's keep cooking. I just be aware of this, right? You could get collateral damage if you are running Citrix NetScaler, which a lot of people are. But chances are, nation-state threat actors, they're highly targeted. They're not going to accidentally, randomly hit you, okay?
Down in Africa. New data shows Africa has overtaken all other regions as the most targeted in the world for cyber attacks, with Nigeria recording the sharpest rise in attack volume on the continent. While many of these incidents are launched from outside Africa, Nigeria also has significant domestic cybercrime activity, with groups like Silver Terrier BEC Syndicate operating from within its borders and targeting victims globally. These actors, along with foreign counterparts, frequently exploit outdated infrastructure like internet service providers and unpatched enterprise servers, which remain major conduits for phishing, ransomware, and financial fraud campaigns. We are confirming...
All right, so check it out. Nigeria leads in Cyberattack surge. Listen, two things. Number one, Nigeria, first of all, way to go, Africa. Even this morning on Worldwide Wednesday, look at the representation, guys. Africa was killing it. We had Kenya, Ghana, Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Nigeria in the house. Nigeria's gotten massive influxes of cash capital to build out their IT infrastructure. Also, they've been getting a lot of money to help deploy education capabilities and level up their citizens to be able to, work in technology and do advanced things. So Nigeria is on the come. I also want to point out, and again, this is just a fact. I'm not stating a subjective opinion on this. China, through their Belt and Road Initiative, you can go Google Belt and Road Initiative. I'm not making this up. China, through their Belt and Road Initiative, have been deploying massive amounts of capital and resources, both physical, like building airports and running telecommunications, as well as infusing capital into businesses and stuff to build up Africa and South America, frankly. They're doing a lot in Guyana, I saw. But my point is, this is all tied together. Now, Nigeria is they're not exclusively leading, but Nigeria is one of the countries that's getting a lot of this love and a lot of capital. Now, check it out. like anything else, like a major city, picture it, Sicily, 1912, okay? A lot of people getting on the boats and heading over to New York City, going to the Big Apple, going to start a new life. Lots of opportunity in New York, 1912, right? At the same time, there is a correlation of increased crime and activity. It is just natural. When you have a large group of people, there are going to be different socioeconomic situations. You're going to have people that are in good situations. You're going to have people that are in bad. You're going to have people that are morally bankrupt, and you're going to have people that are righteous. It is just the human experience of society. So because they have all this activity, all this capital, and all this investment, and all this technology growth, to me, it is painfully obvious. You could have predicted this years ago with 100% certainty that there would be an increase in activity. They're getting more tech, and cyber attacks make a lot of money, boy.
Straight cash, homie.
So, this was going to happen all day, every day, okay? Now, what's really interesting to me is that there's actually an uptick in activity of Nigeria on Nigeria cybercrime activity. Okay, I guess, patriotism and national identity doesn't really apply here. And it just turns into lowest common denominator of I want money, I have capability to steal money, and I don't really give a damn if it's from a U.S. citizen, a Chinese citizen, a Nigerian citizen. Give me my money, right? Like the friggin', oh my God, what's that actor's name? Oh my God, Malkovich? Oh my God, what's that guy's name? Rounders, Malkovich. What is his name? John Malkovich, when he plays Teddy KGB. Okay, quick little aside. By the way, when was this movie made? 1998? Space Tacos, drink. Pay this man his money. If you haven't seen Rounders, a lot of traditional poker people think it's trash. I find it entertaining. I'm a huge Matt Damon fan, and Edward Norton is one of our greatest actors of our generation. I truly believe that. He's not the best, but Matt Damon is also one of the best, for crying out loud. So Matt Damon, Ed Norton, and John Malkovich, get in here, all right? So anyways, pay this man his money. Nigerian threat actors, they're going to do threat acting things. And by the way, you got to remember, this is like an emerging area, so a lot of their best practices are not going to be implemented. You're going to be getting a lot of the classic IT tropes of set it up, packets are flowing, on to the next thing. So this is actually like a nice, rich, porous surface for threat actors to attack. You could even imagine an increase in activity from international threat actors targeting Nigeria, just because it is a soft target. All right, let's go.
The breach you already knew about. 8 months after ransomware group Ransom Hub first announced it had breached Manpower's Lansing, Michigan staffing service franchise, the company has finally confirmed the attack and revealed the number of people affected. An announcement almost as delayed as waiting for a recruiter to call you back after a job interview. Ransom Hub claimed it stole about 500 gigabytes of data, including passport scans, social security and driver's license numbers, financial statements, HR analytics, and confidential contracts. The group later removed the listing from its dark web leak site, a move often associated with ransomware payments, though no payment has been confirmed. But pinpointing when it disappeared is tricky, as the leak site was offline for parts of April and May during downtime and migration. Huge thanks.
All right, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because of time. Really quick, Manpower, it's like a professional services firm kind of got breached. A lot of information got breached. For what it's worth, this is a day that ends in Y. Shout out to the Office of Maine's Attorney General. I got to get this Attorney General on Simply Cyber Firesides and just basically give this guy a verbal back rub, or this lady a verbal back rub. Maine, you're bringing the heat, and I love it. Manpower, you paid the ransom. By the way, really quickly, I will never judge anyone that pays the ransom, okay? It is a complicated issue. Imagine, if you will, The ransom is $100,000 and you're losing $1 million a day. What do you think? What do you think? Why wouldn't you pay for the ransom? It seems obvious. So I'm not going to judge, especially if you're going to go out of business, right? Imagine you're going to go out of business if you're down 3 days in a row. For all the people who said what happened, it didn't say it in here. Holy crap. Manpower revenues are $17 billion. Wow. $3 billion in profit. That's a lot of boats on Nantucket. Someone asked what actually happened. All they know is that threat actor gained unauthorized access to the servers, likely crappy passwords, stolen tokens, maybe no MFA, etc. Let's go.
To our sponsor, Vanta.
Oh.
Do you know the status of your compliance controls right now? Like, right now? We know that real-time visibility is critical for security, but when it comes to our GRC programs, we rely on point-in-time checks. But more than 9,000 companies have continuous visibility into their controls with Vanta. Vanta brings automation to evidence collection across over 35 frameworks, like SOC 2 and ISO 27001. They also centralize key workflows like policies, access reviews, and reporting, and help you get security questionnaires done 5 times faster with AI. Now that's a new way to GRC. Get started at vanta.com/headlines.
All right, for sake of time, we're going to speed run this really quickly. But seriously, would it be a daily cyber threat brief if we didn't play Don't You Forget About Me? All right. Guys, quick shout out to all you. Hope you're having a good time. It is 8:40. So many first timers in chat. If you're having a great experience with the stream, do tell a friend, bring a friend. We do this literally every single weekday morning. We have been for 940 weekday mornings. This is not a fly-by-night operation. This is not a passing fancy. We're in it for the long haul. Go ahead and pitch a tent, plant stakes, do whatever you do, because we're here partying. Hashtag Team SC. Thank you to the stream sponsors, Barricade, Antisyphon, Flare, Threat Locker, getting it done. Really quick, we did not have the Community Member of the Week on Monday because I was gone and Daniel Lowry covered it. Shout out to Daniel Lowry making a big post on LinkedIn yesterday about his career and where he's going. I will just say, if you like Daniel Lowry, get ready to get some more Daniel Lowry in your life. I had a conversation with him yesterday. We are going to be collaborating a lot across multiple projects here at Simply Cyber. So if you don't like Daniel Lowry, I don't know why. He's such a kind person and very, very community driven. And if you do love him, you know what I'm talking about. The Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week is sponsored by Threat Locker. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity for application security and endpoint management, zero trust architecture. Love myself some Threat Locker. This week's Community Member of the Week is Steve Young. Now, I don't have Steve Young's LinkedIn picture because I don't have it. But as I was thinking about it, I see Steve all the time in chat. He's in there right now. He's always contributing his independent thoughts, making jokes, making people feel comfortable and engaged. I saw a picture with him and James McQuiggan, so he's hyper engaged with the community as well. So Steve Young, congratulations. Thank you for being such an amazing Simply Cyber community member and continuing to deliver value, not just to me, but to everyone in the community at Steve Young. Holla. So Steve, do me a favor, connect with me on Discord so we can get you sorted out with your Community Member of the Week prize. Since Threat Locker gives me money to sponsor this segment, I share that money with the Community Member of the Week. Yeah, boy. All right, let's do our laws. You know the routine. Alpha Sierra, get ready. Let's cook. You know the words, everybody. I'm just going to vibe back here. All right, let's finish strong, everybody.
Hey, Federal Trade Commission, can you block this merger? Cybercrime groups ShinyHunters and Scattered Spider are working together in a coordinated campaign targeting Salesforce users, according to researchers at ReliaQuest. The activity combines phishing, voice phishing, and malicious app-based attacks. Techniques include impersonating IT support and phone calls, creating fake Okta-branded login pages, and setting up spoofed connected apps that look like legitimate tools to collect credentials and data. Many of the malicious domains use ticket-related themes and target industries including luxury retail, aviation, insurance, technology, and financial services. Researchers are saying the tactics align with known methods from both groups and suggest a deliberate collaboration. Reddit.
This is not good. This isn't good. Okay, so ShinyHunters is pretty successful threat actor group. Scattered Spider, very successful and frankly very aggressive threat actor group. They're the ones, Scattered Spider, I believe that they are composed of like 19 to 25-year-olds. Probably males, and they are the ones that attacked Caesars, MGM Resorts last year, or a year and a half, 2 years ago. If you like DEF CON at the convention center, you partly thank them, as that's part of the reason why Caesars canceled or didn't want to renew the contract. But when bad threat actors get together, this is like the plot of like a TV show that puts together like a 2-part series with like a really bad guy. You know what I mean? This is essentially like two, master villains joining forces. So you can expect an uptick in activity. I will say by doing this though, they are definitely getting more. They will be getting more attention from law enforcement, I would imagine, wanting to address them. Now, they are targeting basically everyone and anyone that they can. They mentioned luxury brands, but they also said like aviation and, other industries. So honestly, ShinyHunters and Scattered Spider, they don't really care what industry you're in. They just want their money. They are Teddy KGB all day. All right. Let's definitely respect everybody in chat. Definitely keeping it professional here while having good times and being friendly. All right. 4 individuals were arrested for the breach forms. So breach forms went down, and then breach forms V2 has gone up. That is another one of those facts, man. I tell you all the time. If you don't arrest the humans who are running these dark web marketplaces, they will stand up another dark web marketplace every single time. All right. Yeah, there's definitely some really interesting things going on in the threat actor community. Like check this out. Simply Cyber and Hack Smarter joined forces and did a joint community meetup in Vegas, which was phenomenal. If you were there, If you weren't, hopefully you saw the pictures. Threat actors are kind of doing similar things. They have these independent threat actor groups, but they're starting to kind of like identify as like, hey, we have common interests, common goals, and there's so much attack surface. There's so many potential victims. We don't need to compete with each other. And they have this like essentially like alliance called the Calm that they, I think, share techniques and such. To me, it's like, the parallel would be like Simply Cyber, Black Hills Information Security, Hack Smarter, just like that kind of like affiliation or alignment. It's not good. This is bad for us, by the way, really quickly, just so everybody knows. Now, what can you do about it? All right. So if you are a practitioner, all I would say is you'd want to increase your activity, not double your efforts, but make sure you're doing all of the, good foundational practices. This is if anything, to me, this is a warning shot or like an advanced weather note, right? Like, let me give you a parallel, okay? Because I love doing analogies because I think they hit better. So if you know me for a minute, you know that I love analogies and metaphors. This is the equivalent of the weatherman saying that there's a storm developing off the coast of Florida and we're going to keep an eye on it. It doesn't mean a hurricane's going to hit the low country. It doesn't mean Miami's on red alert. It just means there's a storm developing off the coast of Florida. In this instance, when these good or skilled threat actors with a history of success join forces, it doesn't mean your business is going to get hosed. It just means they are a storm and that is developing into a category 3 hurricane, and you should be keeping an eye on it. Now, what can you do? Yes, you can use threat hunting and threat intelligence to keep an eye on it. Make sure it's not a problem for you. But you can also, put board, and again, this is a hurricane metaphor. Where I live, hurricanes are a thing. I'm sure there's parallels for your own natural disasters wherever you are. Fires in California, tornadoes in Kansas. But you can put boards on your windows. You can go to Costco and buy supplies. You can take the paint cans and the bull crap in your yard and put them in your garage so they're not flying around breaking through stuff, right? You can evacuate, which, you're not really going to evacuate your business. But my point is, this is an opportunity to get your crap in order to reduce the risk of being a victim of them and reducing the impact if you are a victim of them. So make sure you're up to date on the TTPs of them. If you are putting in the effort and you want to looking for content creation ideas that shares value into the community, may I suggest this particular area of research would be valuable? Hey, really quick, hey, if you're worried about ShinyHunters and Scattered Spider, here is 3 things you can look for in your SIM to see if it's an issue. Here's 5 things that you can tell your help desk to be on the lookout for. Make it actionable and add value, but this is not good for us. I would imagine that we will be covering stories in the next 3 months of this particular threat actor amalgamation being very successful.
Odds scrapes. Reddit has moved to block the Internet Archive's Wayback Machine from indexing all but its home page, effectively cutting off access to individual posts, comments, user profiles, and subreddits. The company says the decision comes in response to AI firms using archived Reddit data to bypass the platform's data access rules, and also frames it as a way to protect its business by preventing the free harvesting of content it now licenses to partners like Google and OpenAI. Reddit officials alerted the nonprofit archive in advance and say the changes will help enforce platform policy and protect user privacy. Critics argue the move undermines web preservation, while supporters see it as a necessary step to close loops and safeguard both users and Reddit's commercial interests.
Okay. I get this. This is... So, 2 things. One, the Wayback Machine does provide a historical look at websites. It's like snapshotting of websites. Really quick, if you are an offensive security person, a pen tester, doing OSINT, the Wayback Machine is a great place to go as part of your OSINT stuff. Second of all, these companies are trying to basically prevent the harvesting of their data for AI because it's bad for their business, basically. Here's my thing. Why would, Tanya Jenka said this to me recently, right? You write a book. Writing a book is a lot of work, okay? You write a book, you put it out there, and then AI scrapes it immediately, and then people just ask AI questions, and the basically the author of the book gets no value. You don't even go to the book, et cetera, et cetera. The same thing here, right? So from a business viability perspective, it's not in the best interest of AI scraping these things. Secondly, does AI even have a right to scrape these things and catalog it? Is that considered copyright infringement? Early AI, not AI, but like early mainstream AI, 2023, the New York Times, I think it was, or the New York Post, I think it was New York Times, like tried suing OpenAI around copyright infringement. I don't know where that went, but the final thing I'll say about this is there are already documented instances of AI companies modifying the user agent on these scraping tools in order to appear to be regular users, right? So you can block these wholesale scrapers, but there's ways around it. And frankly, I hate to be such a peckerhead, okay, but I'm going to be a peckerhead. OpenAI, for example, okay, last I checked was a $100 billion business. OpenAI revenue. OpenAI, they generated $3 billion in revenue. They're expected to have $12 billion in revenue in 2025. In 2029, they're forecast to have $125 billion. Okay? So really quickly, let's just say $1 billion, which is a gross underestimate of how much they are worth. When you have $1 billion, okay, do you know what you can do with $1 billion? For people in chat right now who are looking for work, imagine, if you will, someone came to you and said, I will pay you $100,000 a year to manually go into Reddit and copy and paste posts. Grueling work, but it could be done by humans. And when you have infinite money, which is basically what OpenAI has, you know what I mean? Like, you can throw money at that problem. I'm just saying, obviously it would be better to automate it and use scrapers and stuff like that. And the fact that Reddit's trying to block it is fine, but I'm just saying, like, if these AI companies want this data, they can literally do it the hard way. Thank you. Sean Saylor said it best. Nothing's out of your reach when you have $1 billion. I'm telling you, man. Like, I know we like to live in this kind of like idealistic world of like, everybody has a chance, and like, you're not born into situations. You can make your own destiny. But, there are, at least in my perspective, and I hate to be dystopian, but there are socioeconomic barriers that exist out there. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody powerful, i.e. has a lot of money, if someone powerful wants something or wants to do something, they can do it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, that's the reality. That's a bit of a hot take, okay? So I guess for you first-timers, I try to qualify it before I say it, but really quick, little tinfoil hat action.
Pay the ferryman. Trend Micro has identified a new ransomware strain called Charon, Charon.
Looks like Charon to me.
Targeting public sector and aviation organizations in the Middle East with techniques usually reserved for state-sponsored espionage. The campaign uses DLL sideloading, multi-stage encrypted payloads, process injection, and anti-EDR invasion, all methods usually reserved for stealing state secrets, not demanding ransoms. Each ransom node is customized with the victim's organization's name, underscoring deliberate targeting. The methods closely mirror those of the China-linked Earthbaxia APT group, but Trend Micro says this could be direct involvement, imitation, or independent development. Remember.
All right. Middle Eastern public sector and aviation industry getting targeted. Oh my God, what are we doing here? Okay. Oh, wow. This is NSFW. I'm seeing some lady bits in this picture. Okay. Whoops. Sorry about that. All right. So ransomware threat actor groups are, they have different levels of skill, and there's no reason for them not to be advanced, right? Let's see. What are they doing here? They're doing DLL sideloading, process injection. Ooh, process injection is so hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
And anti-EDR capabilities. Yeah, that is interesting. Honestly, ransomware really is just like a blow it up and like get as much money as possible. So for doing anti-EDR capabilities, basically bypassing security, process injection is definitely hiding. DLL sideloading is nice. Let's see. This probably has an infographic of a process chain. Where's the show me the infographic? Oh, come on. Don't tease. Oh, there is no infographic. What a missed opportunity. The cyber kill chain would have been good with this one. Okay, so multi-stage payload, that's pretty common. Starts with a log file. The log file is an encrypted shell code. Remember earlier I talked about shell code, basically a custom code that you can run in memory, which delivers the ransomware payload. Okay. How does it work here? Initial intrusion. This is what this is what you got to worry about. Initial intrusion. This is where you can do defense in depth, so you can block these things throughout the kill chain, but initial intrusion is, your initial protection, right? Comes by way of executing a legitimate Edge binary, so Microsoft Edge, the browser that comes with Windows. I use Microsoft Edge to download Microsoft Chrome. to download Google Chrome. Once they run Edge, that's when they install a malicious DLL. Here's my thing. It says initial intrusion, but the reality is the intrusion, you need to get this malicious DLL to the end users on their machine so they can load it. Once the DLL runs, it's game over because you're running malware at that point. They decrypt the embedded ransomware payload. The payload is encrypted, so EDRs can't scan it. Email security gateways can't scan it and see that it is malware. And then it injects it into a newly spawned service host process. So really quickly, process injection is very cool. If you ever open Task Manager and look at your open processes and you think you're going to see malware.exe running, you're not, okay? Unless you've got some trash threat actor, but process injection is a bit more advanced. Essentially, what you need to think of when a process is running, it's loaded into memory, okay? Memory is like basically where code's, active code on your machine and stuff like that, right? Not your hard drive, memory, like RAM, okay? So when a process is running, it's active, it has resources, and it's ongoing and stuff like that. It has allocated memory. Not all of it is necessary, right? So with process injection, you're able to basically hollow out part of that memory and stick your code in there. So it appears to be that process in Task Manager and to the operating system. But in reality, it's just a shell. It's like a husk that the malware is loaded into, hence injected, process injection, and then it's able to run. So when you look at Task Manager or whatever, or EDR, it'll say servicehost.exe, including the signatures of servicehost.exe, because that is the process that was initiated to do it. It's just underneath in memory, the bits and bytes have been flipped to align with whatever that malicious payload is. You can see here, yeah, masquerading as a legitimate Windows service. Okay, so not good, obviously. You want to, it has anti-EDR technology, so you want to be careful about that. All I would say is when it sideloads this malicious DLL, that would be an opportunity to catch it if you have good detection engineering. Obviously, this dump stack log, I mean, that's a specific file name that's trivial to change, but could be worth looking for from a threat hunting perspective. Nasty business, though. Sadly, the thing is, it's ransomware, so if you get got, they're going to tell you right away because they're not interested in espionage and being quiet. They're trying to get money, get paid. All right, look at that. Where are we? What time is it? 9:05. Let's keep on. Let's boogie, baby. All right. Fred on. My friend from Ghana, Fred on. Hold on one second. Fred on with the super chat.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Oh, we got to play the sound effect, right, buddy?
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
All right. Fred on with the super chat. Good morning, Team SC. I do not always get the chance to interact with y'all as I want, but I'm always listening. I know the right time will come in due time. Glad to see Dr. A back in the home studio. Hashtag GRC Mafia. My man, Fred on, hooked me up with a spicy soup when I wasn't feeling well. It's good to see you, bud. We've been talking a lot about Africa, and we had a story on Ghana yesterday, so hopefully we did it justice, did it right. All right, guys. This has been episode 940 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber... Whoops. I just unbuttoned my pants. Whoops. This has been episode 940 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I've been your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. I hope you got value. If you did, tell a friend. If you didn't, tell me. Don't go anywhere because we're going to be pivoting hard like Ross to jawjacking. Jawjacking is a 30-minute AMA show. Separate show if you got to get out of here. Have a great day. This Wednesday, we'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern for Thursday's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Until next time, don't go anywhere. I got you. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. Oh, it's going down. I'm yelling timber. Bro, chop. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. My name is Jerry Guy. This is Jawjack, and your 30-minute Ask Me Anything, Let It Flow cybersecurity mentoring at scale show. What I love to do is help people. I am so all about service. I should get it tattooed on my knuckles. Unfortunately, I Heart NIST is reserved for that real estate. Tech Grunt, 11G in the hizzy. Mara Levy in the house. Come at me, bro. If you got a question, drop it with a Q in chat. If you want to share some updates or some wins that you've got, I don't know, put a W up front, W period, and I'll shout it out. I'm all about it. Stop it. Is Timber a 90s song? God dang. Sean Sailors with the first question. Hold on one second. I want to be able to pull these onto chat here. Sean Sailors with the question. I'd like to expand my job searching, but finding it difficult to find something as good as LinkedIn. What's the aggregators without signups? Yeah, I agree 100%. LinkedIn is getting a little busy. Honestly, man, I really feel like networking and communication, like as far as like sites go, it's been a minute since I did those type of things. I remember back when I was active, dice.com was pretty successful for me. Yeah, thank you. Timber from Pitbull was released in 2013. Definitely not a 90s reference. So Sean Sailors, I would try Dice if you want to go that route. I know a lot of the cybersecurity Discord servers, including ours, has a open jobs or job postings channel that people share. There's also a channel. Hold on, they're a partner community to Simply Cyber. It's called Cyber Jobs Hunting. I'm gonna drop a link to this in chat for everybody. But I'm gonna say at Sean Sailors. Give that Discord a whip. All right, thank you. Oh, very cool. All right. Hey, also really quickly, I want to share a couple things with you. Chat. We're going to keep crushing until 9:30, but I want you to know, and if you got a hat on, hold on to it. If you got socks on, grab them by the ankles. We've got Simply ICS Cyber spinning up season 2. Can you believe it? We're already in the second season. If you're interested in OT and industrial control system security, you're not going to find two better experts to talk about it. Don Weber, Don Weber, U.S. Marine Corps, and longtime SANS instructor Tom Van Norman, also longtime SANS instructor, super industrial control system experts, very accessible knowledge. They are going to be talking about vulnerability management and feeds. I'm telling you, if you even want to sniff OT and ICS, this is a ridiculously valuable resource to giddy up on. That's at 9:30. We're going to raid over there together. I'm going to drop a link. And ICS, Simply ICS, I'm telling you, I'm so excited about this. When they said they wanted to work with me on this stuff, I was giddy about it. All right, that's pinned. Also, a lot of people have been asking about this. Eric Taylor and the team at Barricade Cyber have been doing these practical webinar series. There's another one today at 1 p.m. Eastern time, so just 4 hours from now. Giddy up on that. I think this might directly compete. You might have to make a choice here. You will have to make a choice, okay? Because at 1 p.m. today, also, my man Eddie Miro in Simply Social Engineering is going to be talking to the woman in red, Dorota Kozlowska, who, Wonder Woman, a lot of people know her. She was doing a lot of posting from DEF CON. That's going down at 1 p.m. also. So just make your, choose your own adventure. You've got a lot to pick from. But the Barricade Cyber Fortify 365 webinar series is at 1. I'm not entirely sure what they'll be doing in this particular webinar. There's no information on it, but I will drop a link to both of these. There we go. Again, you might be able to, you can watch them on replay also, so you can do both if you really want to. Let's get back to helping people here. Gudok says, any cool new things you absorbed from DEF CON 33? I wanted to watch all the stuff, but too many panels at one time. Yeah, 100%. You know, one of the cool things, I stopped really going to a lot of the talks because you can watch them on replay if you want. Plus, dude, in my experience, and this is not, I'm not specifically calling out any specific presenters or talks or speakers, but in my experience, okay, I have gone to DEF CON and Black Hat for 15 years, right? 10, 15 years. I have gone to talks that have absolutely sucked, okay? Now, here's the problem with that. When you go to a talk that is not good, you can't, like, you basically have to stay there because in some instances, they don't want you to get up and leave. In some instances, if you got up and left, there's no time to get to another talk, or you're not allowed to enter the room of another talk. So you're basically kind of hosed. And because to me, time is incredibly valuable, and spending an hour on doing something while in Vegas at DEF CON or Black Hat that's not super valuable is incredibly frustrating to me. The fact that the talks are now available afterwards just further drives it home for me. So I didn't really go to a lot of the talks. Now, what I will say is, as far as cool things go, I love Red Team Village and that they do a keynote panel. They did it last year or 2 years ago. I attended that. This year, Tyler Ramsby was also on that panel. Super excited for Tyler and where his career is going. I think that is really, really cool. I know there was a lot of people. Brady McNulty from the Simply Cyber community was competing in the Social Engineering Village. I enjoyed that. And Gudok, as selfish as it is, me, really, really enjoyed and appreciated the opportunity to open or keynote the new Noob Village, which is designed to help people understand breaking into cybersecurity and navigating our environment, our industry. I got to open that village, keynote it. I got a lot of positive response and feedback. It absolutely filled my cups. I felt really great about that opportunity. And the Simply Cyber meetup was phenomenal. So a lot of great stuff. Drop it in chat. What was your favorite part of DEF CON? If you have an offer and there's another company you're interviewing with that's wrapping up in a week, how do you stall on the first offer to give you a chance to compare between the two offers? So Sam, I guess what I would say is it depends. If you really prefer the second company over the first company, then yeah, you might want to try to delay. If you prefer the first company, then I don't know if there's any reason to delay. I've been in this situation personally before. They are going to try to pressure you and intimidate you. All I would say is I would be transparent. I would say, hey, thank you so much for this opportunity. I am really excited about this offer letter that you've issued to me. As you can imagine, I'm in the middle of interviewing several companies, and I actually am expecting another offer letter from another interview in the next 3 days or 5 days. Would it be okay if I gave you my decision on August 17th, right? Two things. One, you're being honest. You're not don't say it like an a-hole. Don't be like, listen, thanks for the offer letter, but I've got a good chance of a better offer coming from a better company with better people. Like, just be a little bit transparent. Now, they may say, and remember, they've gone through all the effort, Sam, to interview you. They're excited about you. You can solve their problem. So at this point, it would be a little reckless for them to be like, oh, you have another offer letter, go pound sand. Okay, so what I would say is be a little bit transparent. They're probably going to try to intimidate you and say, no, we need an answer in the next couple days or whatever. Number one, that kind of gives me icky vibes. I'm not a big fan of that, where they're trying to intimidate you before you even start working there. I would basically play that by ear and see how you feel about it. You can also, honestly, you can also tell the other company that you're expecting will wrap up in 1 week. You can tell them and say, hey, listen, I really have enjoyed this interview process. I want you to know I have an offer. Like, this is, now that I think about it, I might even do this. You might say, hey, listen, I want you to know I have an offer letter on the table from another opportunity, and I have until Friday this week to render a disposition. I'm very excited about your company and working with you, but I cannot delay this response to this offer letter past Friday. So what I would ask you is there a way that we can wrap this interview process by Friday and have a decision? And if the answer is no, we can't, well then, here's my thing. You can take a sure thing with 100% certainty, or you can take a thing that has some variability. Because the last thing you want is getting nothing, right? So, to me, I think transparency, I wouldn't tell them, oh, I have an offer letter with this amount of money, what can you do? People are human, Sam. If they really want you, they will escalate the timeline. All right, continuing to look at chat. I'm going to go a little bit faster with questions because there's a lot of questions and I want to give everybody their rights. All right, hold on. I'm looking at questions here. A lot of people sharing their stuff in chat. I love it. Escol, would it be possible to get AJ Yon on Simply Cyber Firesides? I will message him, Escol07. AJ Yon and I have past comments back and forth. I actually just sent out 10 requests to 10 different people for Firesides yesterday. I can tell you for a fact, people who have responded and scheduled, Michelle Khan will come on. Jessica Hyde will come on. A couple other people I haven't seen yet, but those two for sure have booked. Are the DEF CON talks available on YouTube? I don't know if they are yet, but many of them will be put on there. Anyone in the community into AWS Cloud, mainly AI, we should collab. Soulshine, there is a AI ML security channel on the Simply Cyber Discord server. John V, I don't know if John V's in chat right now. He and I hung out at the Simply Cyber community meetup. He kind of leads that channel. He would be the right person to ask. John V Soulshine. All right. Double Blessing says, I'm stuck about this question. Should I get cyber degree or computer science degree in 2025? Computer science degree all day, every day. Computer cyber K dub. To be honest, I feel lost in news, cybersecurity, to be honest. Yeah, that's okay. Being lost is okay. Just, dude, I'm telling you, so many people have said this to me. Just stick with it, computer cyber KW. It will begin to click. Believe me when I tell you that. Repetition, consistency, things will start clicking and it'll start making sense, okay? We are at 9:20 a.m., 10 minutes until the Simply ICS Cyber. All right, Sam likes the second option. Holler at you. That was a yeet misfire. I'm sorry. All right. Yes, the real Michelle Kahn. It's all good. Zach Sullivan says, do you know any online labs for IT support help desk roles that would help me learn real-world tasks? Yes. Kevin Apolinario has a course. Does anyone have Kevin's... Is Kevin in chat? Here, 1 second. Look at this. Kevin was at the Simply Cyber Community Meetup. I've been friends with Kevin for years. This is... Hold on. Doesn't he have... I thought one of his courses was about help desk. I really thought he had a help desk one. Okay, maybe I'm mistaken. I really thought he had a help desk one. Unfortunately, Zach, I don't have one. If anyone in chat has a support desk, help desk learning, let me know. Does TCM have... I think TCM does have one. Yeah, here we go. This one's free. I thought this was free. Yeah. So check this one out. Actually, start here. Zach Sullivan. Dropping this in chat. This is a free course that TCM Academy put together. This literally answers your question. This is the answer to your question, and it costs $0. I also want to point out to everybody, $0 does not mean no value. $0 does not mean no value. It means it's accessible to everybody. That's what you should wrap your head around on. All right, let's keep cooking here. Space Tacos, will you try to get the podcast narrator from today on Simply Cyber soon? Yes, actually. Thank you, Space Tacos. I will. How do I got to take notes here. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, Ahmad chat. All right, I'm taking notes in mod chat, which I know is like the dumbest thing, but it's all I can do. Father of Legends landed a SOC position in March. Swear it feels like I'm starting over from scratch. Major imposter syndrome vibes. First of all, hell yeah, nice job, Father of Legends. Second of all, dude, I get it. Imposter syndrome. We spent a lot of time talking about it yesterday. It will never go away. You deserve it. You're there. And I got to tell you, even if you don't know exactly what you're doing, Father of Legends, showing up, taking initiative, being motivated and proactive is half the battle. Dude, a lot of people don't know a lot of things. Taking action is where it's at. Oh, Ryan Chapman too. Okay, we got him. I got to connect with him. I butt dialed Ryan Chapman in Vegas. All right, Ronell Wood. I didn't get... Oh, we got a loss here. I didn't get the job from an interview I had a week ago for a cyber specialist role. Didn't do too well in the technical part. Ronell Wood, sorry to hear that, but also an opportunity to focus and, basically refresh yourself on that technical stuff. Zach Hill has a Pay What You Can course coming out for IT. Yes, he does. Kimberly can fix it. If Zach Hill can join us and let us know when that's coming out, that would be great. I really felt awful that I got his wife's name wrong at the community meetup. He said it wasn't a big deal. I know it's not a big deal, but it bothers me. I felt so bad about that. Phil Stafford's out. Be good. All right, continuing on here. Nerman saying have a great day. You too. Double blessing. What is the best cert to pursue as a cyber analyst? Sec Plus. So Sec Plus is like a basic entry-level cert that you really should get because most HR is doing it. Your question would indicate that you're already a cybersecurity analyst. So the next one would either be CISSP, which is a 5-year experience requirement, or CYSA Plus is good. PNPT is good if you're on the GRC audit side. The thing is, double blessing, cyber security analyst is a wicked generic term, so I don't know exactly what work you're doing, so it's hard to give you the best answer. Roswell, UK, would you recommend the Pay What You Can social engineering course from Antisyphon running tomorrow? Yeah. Antisyphon does great work. Their workshops are always good. It's pay what you can. So, I mean, for me and my money, what I like to do is pay zero, and then if I got value, retroactively pay, right? Or I'll pay the $25 and then retroactively pay more. You always have that option, right? Computer Cyber K, thank you for all you do. You are welcome. Emilio says if you have the Sec Plus, you only need 4 years for CISSP. Thank you very much. All right. Dude, we're caught up on chat. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Heck yeah. Zach Sullivan, you ready to let this wash over you in an awesome wave? Pay What You Can, August 19th, 6 days away. Hell yeah. When is this? 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will tell you this will impact, or Central Standard. I don't know what CEST means. I will tell you, this is going to conflict with Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. But I'll tell you what, if you could benefit from IT fundamentals, Zach Hill is absolutely the right person to help you with that. This guy is great. I love myself some Zach Hill. In full disclosure, he's a close friend of mine. But at the same time, I think it's worth noting that, I am very deliberate about who I'm close friends with. And I'd like to think that I choose good people. So, yeah, giddy up on that. Thank you, Kimberly can fix it. Let's see. We're at 9:28. We got Simply ICS Cyber coming up in just a minute. Remember, Simply Social Engineering at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, 8:30. It's right after jaw jacking. Oh, so we could actually technically raid his course. The one consideration is that Simply Cyber Mentors podcast is right after that. All right, guys, we are going to be going in just a minute here. We are caught up on chat questions. I want to say thank you very much. My name's Jerry. If you didn't know me, this is what I do every day. I love to serve. I love good times. And I really, really appreciate this community. So if you're a regular, thank you for all you do. It does not go unnoticed. It does take a village. I'm very, very blessed to have amazing people like Kimberly and Kathy and Justin and, Eric and DJ Bisek, Josh Mason, Stefan Waldvogel, Casually Joseph, Dan Reardon, Jesse Johnson, so many wonderful people. Sierra Montgomery, Alpha Sierra, friggin' Nerman, Brews and Hacks, just Space Tacos. There's so many. If I didn't say your name, it's not because I think less. It's just because it's overwhelming. I am just very grateful. I am grateful. A day doesn't go by where I'm not real and cognizant of what this community brings and how supportive it is for me and for the greater good. Okay, so it takes a village. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. We're going to head on over and cook into this mother trucker. But have a wonderful Wednesday. And until next time, stay secure. Raid! I'm just going to end the stream.